Hey, curious minds, get ready for mind-blowing facts about animals, science, and more. From surprising talents to bizarre discoveries, this video is packed with fun you won't believe. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the unexpected.
Valles Marineris is the largest canyon system in the entire solar system, and it's an awe-inspiring example of the dramatic geological features that exist beyond Earth. Located near the Martian equator, this colossal canyon stretches for about 2,500 miles. That's over 10 times longer than Earth's Grand Canyon, which spans roughly 277 miles. In fact, if Valles Marineris were on Earth, it would stretch all the way across the United States from coast to coast. Its depths reach up to 7 miles in some areas, making it not just long but incredibly deep, about 4 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. The origin of Valles Marineris remains a subject of ongoing study, but scientists believe it was likely formed by tectonic activity, the stretching and cracking of Mars' crust as the planet cooled. This process may have been intensified by the nearby Tharsis volcanic region, a vast bulge on the Martian surface home to Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. As volcanic forces pushed up the crust, it may have caused the land to split and collapse, creating the vast trench system we see today. What makes Valles Marineris even more fascinating is the complexity of its landscape. It's not just one canyon, but a network of interconnected valleys, cliffs and channels, some of which show evidence of past water flow. This has made the region an area of interest in the search for past Martian life, as water is a key ingredient for life as we know it. Over the years, spacecraft like NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter have sent back stunning images of the canyon's jagged cliffs and layered sediments, revealing a history written in stone that spans billions of years. In short, Valles Marineris is one of the most breathtaking and scientifically intriguing landmarks on Mars, a reminder that even though Mars may seem like a barren desert world, it's home to some of the most extreme and mysterious landscapes in our solar system.
One of the oldest and simplest pieces of evidence that the Earth is round comes from something people have observed for thousands of years: the curved shadow Earth casts on the Moon during a lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth moves directly between the Sun and the Moon, blocking sunlight and casting a shadow on the Moon's surface. During this event, the shadow that slowly creeps across the Moon is always curved, a consistent arc that reveals the shape of the object casting it. The Greek philosopher Aristotle was one of the earliest thinkers to use this observation as proof of Earth's roundness around 350 BCE. He noted that the shadow Earth cast during an eclipse is round regardless of the Moon's position in the sky or the time of year. If Earth were flat, its shadow would not consistently appear circular. It might be elongated, oval, or even a straight line depending on the angle. But since only a spherical object always casts a round shadow, this was strong evidence, even in ancient times, that the Earth is a sphere. Lunar eclipses also helped early astronomers understand Earth's size and orientation in space. By carefully measuring the shadow's movement across the Moon, scientists were able to estimate Earth's diameter long before the invention of telescopes or satellites. These early measurements weren't perfect, but they were surprisingly close, showing just how powerful simple observations can be. Today we have countless ways to confirm Earth's shape, from satellite imagery to circumnavigation, but the lunar eclipse remains one of the most elegant and accessible demonstrations. Anyone on the night side of Earth can witness this natural event with the naked eye and see firsthand a beautiful and ancient truth. Our planet is not flat, it's a sphere, silently tracing its shadow across the sky.
The Moon, Earth's only natural satellite, is slowly but steadily drifting away from our planet at a rate of about 1.5 inches or 3.8 centimeters per year. While this might not sound like much, it's a fascinating and important phenomenon that reveals a lot about the intricate gravitational relationship between Earth and the Moon. This movement is caused by tidal forces, the same forces responsible for the rising and falling of Earth's oceans. Here's how it works. The gravitational pull of the Moon creates bulges in Earth's oceans, leading to tides. However, because Earth rotates faster than the Moon orbits, these tidal bulges are always slightly ahead of the Moon in its orbit. The gravitational interaction between these bulges and the Moon acts like a kind of tug, pulling the Moon forward in its orbit. As a result, the Moon gains energy and gradually moves into a higher orbit. In other words, farther from Earth. At the same time, Earth is giving up some of its rotational energy to the Moon. This means that as the Moon moves away, Earth's rotation is very slowly slowing down, causing our days to get longer by about 2 milliseconds per century. Billions of years ago, days were much shorter, and the Moon appeared larger in the sky because it was closer. In the distant future, this process may lead to what's called tidal locking, where Earth's rotation slows enough to match the Moon's orbital period, possibly resulting in both always showing the same face to each other. However, that would take billions more years, long after humans are likely around to see it. Scientists have been able to measure the Moon's slow retreat with incredible precision using laser reflectors left on the lunar surface during the Apollo missions. By bouncing lasers off these reflectors, researchers can measure the Earth-Moon distance down to the millimeter. This ongoing shift is not only a testament to the dynamism of our Earth-Moon system, but also a great example of how ancient cosmic forces continue to shape our world even today.
Venus is a fascinating and extreme world, and despite being the second planet from the Sun, it is the hottest in the solar system, a fact that often surprises people. You'd think Mercury, being closest to the Sun, would be the hottest, but Mercury lacks a significant atmosphere, while Venus is enveloped in a thick, toxic blanket of gases that completely changes the game. Venus's atmosphere is composed of about 96% carbon dioxide, along with clouds of sulfuric acid, making it both chemically harsh and extremely effective at trapping heat. This thick atmospheric layer acts like a thermal blanket, causing what's known as a runaway greenhouse effect. Here's how it works. Sunlight passes through Venus's clouds and heats the surface. The hot surface then radiates this energy as infrared heat. On Earth, much of this infrared radiation escapes back into space, but Venus's dense atmosphere traps it. The carbon dioxide molecules absorb and re-emit this heat over and over, preventing it from escaping and causing the planet's temperature to climb and stay at an average of around 900 degrees Fahrenheit, or 475 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt lead, and even hotter than some surfaces on Mercury during the day. And unlike Mercury, which has extreme temperature swings between day and night because it can't hold heat without an atmosphere, Venus's heat is evenly distributed, so both its day and night sides remain blisteringly hot. Adding to its intensity, Venus's atmosphere is over 90 times the pressure of Earth's, meaning that if you stood on its surface, assuming you could survive the heat and the toxic air, the pressure would feel like being nearly a kilometer underwater on Earth. The thick cloud layers also make direct observation of the surface from space nearly impossible with visible light, which is why scientists have used radar mapping, such as from the Magellan spacecraft, to peer through the clouds and study the terrain. Interestingly, scientists believe Venus may have once had Earth-like conditions with liquid water on its surface billions of years ago. But a combination of volcanic activity, solar radiation, and the buildup of greenhouse gases likely led to the extreme conditions we see today. Venus serves as a stark reminder of how delicate planetary climates can be, and it's often studied as a cautionary example of climate change taken to the extreme. So, while Venus may look serene and beautiful in the sky as the evening star, it's an unforgiving hellscape below the clouds. A world where heat is inescapable, pressure is crushing, and the atmosphere is a deadly chemical soup.
Welcome to the mesmerizing world of Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Known for its unique and intriguing features, Titan offers a glimpse into a realm that feels almost otherworldly. Saturn's largest moon, Titan, is one of the most fascinating worlds in the solar system, and not just because it looks like a sci-fi landscape. One of the most mind-blowing facts about Titan is that it contains more oil and natural gas than all of Earth's known reserves combined. But unlike Earth, where hydrocarbons are buried underground and formed over millions of years from organic matter, Titan's version of oil, liquid methane and ethane, exists naturally on its surface and in its atmosphere, forming entire lakes, rivers and even rain systems. Discovered in detail by NASA's Cassini-Huygens mission, Titan is the only other body in the solar system known to have stable liquids on its surface, though they aren't water. Instead, temperatures on Titan hover around a frigid -290 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough for methane and ethane, which are gases on Earth, to exist as liquids. These hydrocarbons fill massive lakes and seas, particularly near the Moon's polar regions. The largest of these, Kraken Mare, is roughly the size of the Caspian Sea and could be hundreds of feet deep. Scientists estimate that the total volume of hydrocarbons on Titan, both on the surface and potentially underground, exceeds Earth's oil and natural gas reserves by hundreds of times. Titan's thick atmosphere, rich in nitrogen and methane, raises intriguing possibilities about the potential for life. While the surface is too cold for liquid water, scientists speculate that subsurface oceans of water mixed with ammonia could exist, providing a potentially habitable environment. The presence of complex organic molecules adds another layer of mystery, suggesting that Titan could be a key place to study prebiotic chemistry and the conditions that might foster life. The atmosphere of Titan, which is thicker than Earth's, is also rich in organic compounds. It's mostly nitrogen, like Earth's, but it contains significant amounts of methane and other complex hydrocarbons that contribute to its thick orange haze. These organic chemicals fall like snow and accumulate on the surface, forming what some scientists call organic sand dunes. This abundance of carbon-based compounds makes Titan one of the most chemically rich environments outside Earth and a prime candidate in the search for prebiotic chemistry or even primitive life. However, extracting or using Titan's hydrocarbon resources is purely hypothetical at this point. The extreme cold and its great distance from Earth, about 746 million miles or 1.2 billion kilometers away, make it wildly impractical with today's technology. But Titan offers an invaluable glimpse into what an alien Earth-like world might look like, complete with weather, seasons, and even methane rainstorms. It's not only a treasure trove of natural resources, but a place that challenges and expands our understanding of planetary science and the potential for life in the cosmos.
A groundbreaking new space mission by the European Space Agency is set to launch in April 2025 with the goal of revolutionizing how we monitor Earth's forests. Known as the Biomass mission, this project will deploy a satellite designed to map and analyze the carbon content of the world's most remote tropical forests. These forests play a vital role in regulating the planet's climate, acting as massive carbon sinks that absorb about 8 billion tons of CO2 each year. However, current monitoring methods are limited in their ability to see through dense vegetation, making it difficult to measure changes in forest structure and carbon storage with precision. To overcome this challenge, the Biomass satellite will be equipped with an advanced P-band synthetic aperture radar and a 12-meter deployable antenna, one of the largest ever used in Earth observation. This unique radar system is capable of penetrating thick forest canopies and capturing detailed three-dimensional images of the trees and vegetation below. This technology will allow scientists to gather data not just about the surface, but about the height and density of biomass, providing a far more complete picture of how much carbon is being stored and how it changes over time. The mission will focus primarily on tropical regions across Africa, Asia and South America, which are home to the densest and most carbon-rich forests on the planet. Over a 5-year span, the satellite will continually monitor these forests to track changes caused by deforestation, reforestation and natural events like wildfires. This long-term data collection is expected to significantly enhance our understanding of the carbon cycle and improve global climate change models, especially as forest ecosystems respond to both human activity and environmental stressors. One of the most exciting aspects of the Biomass mission is its integration with artificial intelligence and machine learning tools. By feeding the satellite's high-resolution data into advanced algorithms, scientists can detect subtle patterns and predict future changes in forest health and carbon storage. This will not only help in verifying global carbon emissions targets, but also guide conservation policies and sustainable land use planning. In essence, this mission represents a powerful new way to keep track of one of Earth's most critical resources, its forests, from space.
One of the most awe-inspiring future events in the cosmos is the predicted collision between the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy, set to occur in approximately 4.5 billion years. Both galaxies are massive spiral galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, and are currently hurtling toward each other at a speed of about 110 kilometers per second, or 68 miles per second. Despite this enormous speed, because of the vast distances in space, they're currently about 2.5 million light-years apart, this galactic encounter will unfold slowly over the course of billions of years. Astronomers believe that rather than a sudden crash, the two galaxies will gradually merge, engaging in a long gravitational dance that reshapes them both. This future collision is not an unexpected event. In fact, it's a natural part of how galaxies evolve. Galaxies often grow by merging with others, and both the Milky Way and Andromeda have already absorbed smaller galaxies in their histories. When the two giants finally meet, their massive gravitational forces will pull and twist one another, disrupting their structures, flinging stars into new orbits, and ultimately creating an entirely new galaxy, often referred to by astronomers as Milkomeda or Milkdromeda. Over time, this new galaxy is expected to settle into a large elliptical shape, quite different from the spiral structures both galaxies have now. One common question is whether this collision will destroy Earth or our solar system. The answer is no, at least not likely. Galaxies are mostly empty space, and stars are so far apart that direct star-to-star collisions are incredibly rare. What will happen, however, is that the gravitational forces during the merger may alter the position of our solar system within the newly formed galaxy. Earth might end up much farther from the galactic center, or closer, but it's unlikely to be ejected entirely or destroyed. However, by the time this cosmic event takes place, the Sun will be nearing the end of its life cycle, expanding into a red giant and possibly making Earth uninhabitable regardless of galactic collisions. Astronomers have been able to predict this future event with increasing accuracy thanks to powerful telescopes like the Hubble Space Telescope and advanced simulations. By observing the motion of stars and gas clouds in both galaxies, scientists have tracked their trajectories and used computer models to simulate their future paths. The impending merger between the Milky Way and Andromeda is a vivid reminder of the dynamic, ever-changing nature of the universe, and though it's far beyond any human timescale, it represents one of the most dramatic events that will ever affect our cosmic neighborhood.
One of the most mind-blowing and oddly entertaining facts about space is the existence of a massive cloud of alcohol floating out in the cosmos, big enough to make an estimated 400 trillion pints of beer. This enormous alcohol cloud is found in a star-forming region known as Sagittarius B2, located about 390 light-years from the center of our Milky Way galaxy, near the Sagittarius constellation. It's a gigantic interstellar cloud composed of various molecules, including a type of alcohol called ethyl alcohol, ethanol, the same kind found in alcoholic beverages. This isn't your average six-pack, though. The alcohol in Sagittarius B2 is spread out across a vast area, about 1,000 times the diameter of our entire solar system, and it's mixed with a cocktail of other complex organic molecules, gases and dust. It's far from drinkable due to the extreme cold, around minus 240 degrees Celsius or minus 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and the fact that it also contains toxic compounds like methanol, formaldehyde, and hydrogen cyanide. Still, the sheer quantity of ethanol present, about 10 billion liters, is a striking demonstration of the complex chemistry that takes place in interstellar space. The discovery of this cloud has profound scientific importance beyond its novelty. It shows that organic molecules, the building blocks of life, can form in the harshest and most remote environments of the universe. These molecules are likely formed on the surfaces of icy dust grains inside cold molecular clouds and then released into the gas phase as the regions are warmed by newly forming stars. Studying these compounds gives astronomers clues about how the ingredients for life could be distributed across the galaxy, and possibly even delivered to forming planets via comets or meteorites. While no one is launching a space brewery anytime soon, the existence of this alcohol cloud is a perfect example of how strange and surprising the universe can be. It blends humor with hard science, making it a fan-favorite fact among space lovers, and beyond the fun headlines, it's a reminder that the cosmos is chemically rich and full of mysteries, some of which may help us better understand not only the formation of stars and planets, but even the origins of life itself.
Many people recognize the Big Dipper as one of the most iconic and easily identifiable patterns in the night sky. But what's often misunderstood is that the Big Dipper isn't actually a constellation. It's an asterism. An asterism is a recognizable pattern of stars that forms part of a larger constellation. In this case, the Big Dipper is an asterism within the much larger constellation Ursa Major, which means Great Bear in Latin. The Big Dipper is made up of 7 bright stars, 4 that form the bowl and 3 that make up the handle. These stars are Dubhe, Merak, Phecda, Megrez, Alioth, Mizar and Alkaid. While they appear close together from our vantage point on Earth, they actually lie at varying distances from us, and not all of them are physically related. However, 5 of the stars in the Big Dipper belong to a moving group called the Ursa Major moving group, meaning they travel through space in the same direction and are likely to have formed together from the same stellar nursery. The full constellation of Ursa Major contains many more stars beyond those in the Big Dipper, and it stretches across a larger portion of the sky. In mythology, Ursa Major is often depicted as a bear, with the Big Dipper forming its hindquarters and tail. The constellation has deep roots in many cultures around the world and has inspired legends among the Greeks, Native Americans, Chinese and many others. The Big Dipper is also astronomically useful. Its 2 outermost stars, Dubhe and Merak, are often called the pointer stars, because they form a line that points directly to Polaris, the North Star, which lies in the nearby constellation Ursa Minor. This makes the Big Dipper a valuable tool for navigation in the Northern Hemisphere. Though it's not a constellation in its own right, the Big Dipper remains one of the most well-known star patterns in the world, both a cultural icon and a practical guidepost in the sky.
One of the most fascinating geological features in our solar system is found on Io, one of Jupiter's largest moons, a volcano that is constantly erupting. In fact, Io isn't just home to a single active volcano, it is the most volcanically active body in the entire solar system, with hundreds of volcanoes, many of which erupt frequently, and some almost constantly. Among the most prominent of these is Loki Patera, a massive volcanic depression that behaves like a lava lake and undergoes regular outbursts. Io's incredible volcanic activity is due to an intense process called tidal heating. As Io orbits Jupiter, it's caught in a gravitational tug-of-war between the massive planet and its neighbouring moons, Europa and Ganymede. This constant gravitational squeezing stretches and flexes Io's interior, generating tremendous heat through friction. This heat melts rock into magma, fueling continuous volcanic activity. The result is a surface that is constantly changing, covered in fresh lava flows, sulfuric deposits, and volcanic pits. The volcanoes on Io are unlike anything on Earth. Some of them erupt with plumes of gas and molten rock that can shoot hundreds of kilometers into space, towering far above the moon's surface. The materials ejected during these eruptions, mostly sulfur and sulfur dioxide, give Io its bizarre, colourful appearance, with areas shaded in yellow, red, white and even green. NASA's Galileo spacecraft and the Voyager missions first captured these eruptions, and later telescopes and observations from spacecraft like Juno have continued to monitor the moon's fiery surface. Despite its distance from Earth and its extreme environment, Io has become a key object of study for planetary scientists. It offers a look at how tidal forces can dramatically shape a celestial body, and it helps researchers understand how similar processes might work on exoplanets or early planetary bodies in our own solar system. With its relentless volcanic fury and dynamic landscape, Io stands as one of the most alien yet active worlds we've discovered, proof that even far from the Sun, planetary bodies can be surprisingly alive. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed these incredible facts. If you found them fascinating, there's so much more to discover. Stay tuned for our next video, where we uncover even more mind-blowing facts about the world around you. You won't believe what's next.